The new Zens Liberty free placement wireless charger is able to pick up where Apple's AirPower failed. What's going on, everyone? It is Andrew here from AppleInsider. And yes, the Zens Liberty is a new wireless charger that has just become available that mimics essentially what Apple failed to do with AirPower. AirPower looked great and there was a lot of hype surrounding it. It allowed you to charge up to 3 devices, just placing them anywhere on the wireless charger mat. Think multiple iPhones, or your iPhone, your Apple Watch, and even a set of AirPods. You could place them anywhere you wanted on the mat with no problems whatsoever. They'd all charge. It was our wireless charging dream. But after a lot of delays, AirPower was officially canceled, which means third parties are now picking up where AirPower left off. Within the Zens Liberty wireless charging mat, there are 16 Qi coils that allow you to place your iPhone or other Qi-enabled device almost anywhere on the mat and begin charging. And it can charge up to 2 devices at once on that wireless surface. We have always had an affinity towards Zen's previous wireless chargers. They're always very well made with premium materials like stainless steel or aluminum. And that's exactly what we're getting here with the Zens Liberty, but with that added functionality of entirely free placement across the charging surface. Basically it means you don't have to worry about where you set your stuff down. Toss it on there and you can reliably assume that it's going to begin charging. You don't have to align your phone up with the chargers or the coils that are underneath. Opening up the box, you're going to find some getting started guides. You're going to find the charger itself, which is a little bit on the large size, but we'll look at the size and everything in just a moment. Also inside in the top, you're going to find all the different chargers. So you're going to have a couple different adapters on the top. Then you're going to find a 60 watt USB-C power brick. So you're going to use this to power up the device itself, but of course it could also be used to charge a MacBook, an iPad Pro, anything like that that also uses USB-C. As an added bonus, the USB-C cable is also very nice with aluminum overmolds on the ends and a nylon braided cord in the middle of it. Here is the actual charger itself. It is a little bit on the thick side, but again, there's all those different coils stacked on top of each other on the inside, so they definitely need a little bit of space. On the back there is a USB-C port, which is obviously used to power it, and then we have the USB-A port here on the top right hand corner. This is really cool, so it allows you to charge any other devices that you need to, whether it's an iPad or a camera, anything else that plugs in over USB-A, simply connect it in that top right hand corner and get some additional power right out of your charging mat. It's really nice to have that additional output. Now, there are a couple different versions of this Liberty wireless charger. This is the fabric version. It's a very premium feel finish on the top. Your phone's not going to go anywhere. It's almost like multicolored a little bit of heather. It looks really nice. And I dig when manufacturers start to kind of blend those materials of fabric and aluminum together. It just gives a really good feel and finish to the product. So now let's talk about the charging surface itself, what you can place on there, how it works, all that kind of stuff. So yes, this is easily large enough to hold up to 2 phones. So you can fit 2 different phones on here. I could fit 2 11 Pro Max models on here, but we also have an 11 Pro and an 11 Pro Max, but those easily fit side by side as well. So you're not gonna have any issues with that. And we had really not too much issue placing the phone really anywhere on the mat, and it did just fine. We slid it around, we picked it up, set it down. Every time we did, as long as the center of the phone was within the charging zone, it quickly started charging. Now, sometimes there was a little bit of a delay. It could take a couple seconds for the charger itself to kind of negotiate with the phone at which coil was going to be best placed to begin charging. So it could take a few seconds at times to begin charging the device, whether it's a set of AirPods or a phone, whatever it was. It sometimes could take a few seconds, but it really wasn't that much of an issue. Just don't start moving your phone around until you kind of just wait and just see if it starts charging right away anyway. We were very pleased at how large the surface area was here and how easy it was to start charging our devices. But what makes it even better is this limited edition glass top version. Yes, it integrates a glass top in place of the fabric and allows you to see all the charging coils on the inside. It's a very techie kind of look here, but it's definitely up our alley. It's also a little bit functional because you can actually see where all the coils are, and you know if you're blatantly placing your phone or your headphones way towards the edges of the surface. Now, there is still one big difference between this and AirPower, and that's the ability to charge Apple Watch. But don't worry, Zens thought of that as well. They've also just announced a new Apple Watch adapter that plugs in over USB-A. So you could pick this up by itself and use this with any USB-A charger, plug it in. Great little Apple Watch dongle that you can bring with you. But what makes it even better is the ability to add this little stand to it and plop it right down on that top right hand corner of the Zens Liberty, so that effectively gives you the 3 charging solution that you need that really mimics AirPower. So you have 2 phones or a phone and your headphones, and then your Apple Watch. All three devices can charge at once on this wireless charging pad with pretty much free placement. Now, of course, you can't put your Apple Watch on the charging surface like you could with AirPower, but it's pretty much as close as you're going to get while playing within Apple's ecosystem. We've been using this for a few days now, and honestly, when we go back to regular wireless chargers, it's kind of ruined us because we just kind of haphazardly place our devices down, not even thinking about where we're putting them, and sometimes they don't begin charging because they're not centered properly. So with this, it's just never been an issue. We really tried a lot to move our phones around and see how well that charging surface was covered, and the only time we ever ran into issue was just going towards the edges maybe a little bit too much. And it's kind of hard because the coil is in the center of your phone, but you're not exactly acutely aware of where that is. So if you're putting it on there, it can be a little easy to put your phone just a little bit over the edge and it doesn't begin charging. See right there, it's not charging and it looks like it almost should be. We move it like a half an inch down and boom, it immediately starts. So you still have to kind of be aware of where your phone is placed on the charging mat. Like there, it did a really good job, but the bezel here is large and then you have a little bit of a gap in there on the sides as well. So on the sides of this is a little bit bigger, a little bit more of a gap than you may think that there is, which is not as much of an issue on this clear topped limited edition version, but it's something to be aware of if you're picking up the fabric version because you can't see that charging area. Free placement wireless chargers are definitely the next step, and honestly, I'm very glad that they're here. If you want to grab either version of these and the Apple Watch dongle, you can find a link down below in the description, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. Reach me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU and let me know, is this a good replacement for AirPower? If not, what is? Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next vid.
Hey everyone, did you guys like that video? Be sure to click on that like button so we can create content that we know that you guys want to see. And follow Apple Insider on all social media channels. If you want the best prices on any Apple gear, check out the Apple Insider price guide that is updated daily. And until next time, we'll see you later.